Why do some people find it easy to build deep, lasting relationships while others struggle to let anyone get close? According to Erik Erikson, the answer begins with something we explored in our last video. Before we can truly connect with someone else, we first need to know who we are. Today, we're breaking down Erikson's sixth psychosocial stage: intimacy versus isolation. By the end of this video, you'll understand why a strong sense of identity is essential for healthy relationships, what true intimacy really means, and why some people withdraw from close connections altogether. Intimacy versus isolation occurs between 21 and about 40 years of age, during early adulthood. By this point, the major challenge of adolescence, developing an identity, has ideally been resolved. Now the focus shifts from discovering yourself to sharing yourself with someone else. The question is no longer, who am I? Instead, it becomes, can I share my life with someone else without losing myself? When most people hear the word intimacy, they immediately think of romantic relationships. But Erikson meant something much broader. Intimacy is the ability to build close, trusting, and meaningful relationships. That might be with a spouse or partner, a lifelong friend, a sibling, or anyone with whom you can be completely honest, vulnerable, and accepted. True intimacy means allowing another person to know the real you. Think about two close friends. They trust each other. They support one another during difficult times. They celebrate each other's successes. They can disagree without ending the friendship. They're comfortable being themselves because they don't feel they have to pretend. That's intimacy. Notice something important. Healthy intimacy doesn't require giving up your identity. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. People who have developed a strong sense of self are often better able to build healthy relationships because they don't need to become someone else just to be accepted. They can remain themselves while also making room for another person. But what happens if someone never develops that kind of connection? Imagine someone who's afraid of rejection, or someone who avoids vulnerability because they're worried about getting hurt. Maybe they keep every relationship at a distance, or they constantly push people away whenever things become emotionally close. Over time, they may begin feeling increasingly alone, even when surrounded by other people. This is what Erikson described as isolation. It's not simply being physically alone. It's feeling emotionally disconnected from meaningful relationships. Of course, everyone needs time alone sometimes. Enjoying solitude doesn't mean someone has failed this stage. The real question is whether a person is capable of forming deep, trusting relationships when they choose to. The goal isn't having lots of relationships. It's having genuine ones. When this conflict is resolved successfully, adults develop the virtue of love. For Erikson, love isn't simply a feeling. It's the ability to form lasting relationships built on trust, commitment, mutual respect, and emotional closeness. It's the confidence to say, I know who I am, and I'm willing to let someone truly know me. That ability becomes the foundation for healthy families, friendships, partnerships, and communities. If this stage isn't resolved successfully, Erikson believed people may struggle with loneliness, emotional distance, or difficulty maintaining close relationships. For board exams, unresolved intimacy versus isolation is commonly associated with social isolation, fear of commitment, and difficulty forming meaningful interpersonal relationships. These are developmental associations within Erikson's theory, not direct causes, but they're important concepts to recognize. Here's an easy way to remember this stage. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a bridge. On one side is independence. On the other side is connection. Crossing the bridge requires vulnerability. They're really asking one simple question. Can I let someone into my life without losing myself? When the answer is yes, intimacy grows. When fear repeatedly prevents emotional closeness, isolation begins to take its place. So let's quickly summarize. Intimacy versus isolation occurs between 21 and about 40 years of age. During this stage, adults learn to build deep, meaningful relationships while maintaining their own identity. Healthy relationships lead to intimacy and the virtue of love. Fear of vulnerability, emotional withdrawal, or difficulty trusting others can lead to isolation, making meaningful relationships harder to form and maintain. Ultimately, this stage teaches one powerful lesson. I can share my life without losing myself. In our next video, adulthood takes on an even broader focus. The question is no longer, can I build meaningful relationships? Instead, it becomes, how can I make a difference in the lives of others? We'll explore generativity versus stagnation and discover why giving back, mentoring others, and contributing to something larger than ourselves becomes central challenges of middle adulthood. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.